fine. Let's see what this is about.
Finally pieced together Minecraft's most popular SMP series to see if there truly is a giant Minecraft multiverse. Our journey through the multiverse begins with a Minecraft series that you may or may not even remember. Founded by Grian, the Minecraft Evolution SMP started
See,
on
this is
October
mad.
2nd,
The fact that they included Evo in this multiverse, I immediately was like, stop the tape. I want to watch this.
17. The players on the server included Solidarity, InTheLittleWood, Netty Plays, Big B Stats, and System Z. And 2 other players, Grian's friends Tartus and Pearlescent Moon, were later added to the series.
Wait, Minnie was in it as well?
The main premise of Minecraft Evo...
Oh, there he is. And Tom. Minnie and Tom were both in it. Maybe they're only doing it with, like, still active YouTubers, maybe.
Oh, was that the players began the series in the early...
And Salem, of course, Salem as well. Yeah, maybe it is just people who are still active.
...editions of Minecraft Beta. And after completing a series of tasks, the players would travel through a portal to the next edition of Minecraft. While this SMP with a twist seemed like a simple travel through time, there was actually a lot more going on with the server's lore than meets the eye.
There was.
You see, the players on the Evo server were actually being toyed with by some godlike beings known as the Watchers. For the SMP players to travel to the next edition of Minecraft,
my God.
the Watchers would pose...
Look how tight that camera frame is. That's back in the first Yogg's office. This is the thing, actually, when it comes to Evo. There's a load of people who have been discovering me recently through, you know, Third Double, Last Life, all that sort of stuff, or through the Rats SMP. And they've all been like, oh, okay, I'm now hearing about Evo. I'm going to go back and watch it. And I think now, because of what's going on currently, there probably more people are going to be going through and watching that stuff. And it's like, oh, like, I to memory, I'm not particularly proud of any of that content. The Evo series came at a time in my life when I was just super, like, busy, and my percentage splits with what I was doing weren't great. So it meant I was having to put out just like, I was basically doing quantity over quality back then, and I'm very aware of that. And I chipped in with some of the lore stuff in Evo a bit. I think the only thing that Evo had going for me was that I feel like mine and Timmy's perspectives were funny. Like, I think for me, that was kind of like an improv comedy playground. But in terms of, like, how to build and how to, you know, tell a story in Minecraft and stuff, I hadn't really developed those skills just yet. So Green was certainly the front runner with it, and I wasn't able to keep pace. I think that's why Z and Pearl were brought in, is because they were both really good builders, and it kind of brought up the general standard of the server. And I think as well at that point, we had a few content creators, for example, like Salem and stuff like that, where it wasn't their full-time gig, and it was really hard to sync up schedules. There was basically a lot about Evo that could have been great, and I think it just wasn't the right time for the vast majority of us, honestly. So yeah, if you do go back and watch the Evo stuff, please, just like a pinch of salt. Please don't judge me on that stuff. I get it's a building block and a step, but I feel like people are going to give a lot of credence and weight to the Evo series based off of this current multiverse stuff now.
The series of hints that
just
the
thought I'd put
players
that
would
out there.
follow to find the portals. Little was known about the identity of the Watchers. All that was known about them was that there were 2 of them, and that they typically
I still remember that.
only
Yeah,
spoke
the
in
skin
riddles and
situation was
rhymes.
broken.
There were also some entities known as the Listeners on the server that the players knew even less about, only known by their catchphrase, "There are those who watch, we are those who listen."
Yeah, and we do not agree with their most recent decision. That was the first thing they said after Green went.
Going smoothly as the members on the Evo SMP continued working their way up through the versions of Minecraft. But
it was so funny, the Evo SMP, because you literally had like the original bases that were all around that central circle, and then as soon as Z and Pearl came in and Green was doing his thing, like Green had a really cool build far off, and then you had Z and Pearl basically just making like New York City or whatever it was they were making. There was just such a distinct difference in like skill in terms of builds and stuff.
Something unexpected happened when the players discovered they would have to fight the Ender Dragon to progress to the next version.
I love this idea that we did, where we implemented the whole, like, you know, we've all got to fight the dragon together, and then, sorry, there's a rug pull, you've actually got to do it solo.
Of the game. After the Evo players assembled around the end portal to fight the Ender Dragon on the server, they all jumped into the portal.
Wait, I'm just realizing, why am I the only one not in like full diamond? I guess like Timmy is as well. Man, the property police were just so far behind everybody else. Jeez.
Portal to fight the Ender Dragon on the server, they all
The
jumped
cobblestone
into the
police
portal,
station was a work of art, though.
expecting it to be an easy
Honestly, I
fight
can't even
because
fully
there were
remember
so
what it looked
many of
like.
them. What the players didn't realize, however, was that the Watchers had pulled each player into an alternate reality. They would be required to fight the End Dragon on their own. Every player managed to slay their respective Ender Dragon, but when they all resurfaced on the Evo server into the next version, they discovered that Grian had not returned to the server. As it turned out, according to a unique End Portal credits message from the Watchers themselves, after Grian entered the portal back to the overworld, the Watchers had chosen Grian to become the third Watcher. The Evo series continued without Grian, but he always remained in the background, watching. When the remaining players resurfaced on the server, the Watchers had moved them 6,000 blocks.
It was a long old way. A long way.
Wanting them to start in a new place in the evolution world. After journeying back to spawn, players learned that the Watchers had destroyed their home.
Look at it. You can literally see like the back of their builds just like completely dwarf ours. It was nuts. Although having said that, I don't remember the levels of those buildings actually being that full. I think they look cool from the exterior, but I don't recall there being actually anything to do inside of them.
After message demanding the players to start the Evo server anew in a different...
I don't even remember Pearl with that skin. I remember Pearl's other skin, like the old one, the one that went on the other day, but I don't remember this one.
Different area of the map. At the end of the Evo series, a message from the listeners led the evolutionists.
Oh my god, you have no idea how long this underground maze and catacomb took to build, chat. Holy. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I did it by hand. I literally like did these room designs, did all the cracked brick and stuff like that, and I had to make like a big like I can't remember how big it was. It might have been like a 7x7 maze or something. It took ages.
To a portal to escape the control of the Watchers. And after going through the portal, players moved on to a new Minecraft series. On our next step through the multiverse,
wait, what was with the Stormtrooper Mini Mooka? What was that?
3 seasons of the life-themed series.
Okay,
Third
here we go.
Life, Last Life, and Double Life. All these series seem just like straightforward fun, but little did we know that there is actually deep lore in the series. This brings us to
Okay, when we say this deep lore in the series, it's only from my POV. Literally only from my POV. Just putting that out there.
InTheLittleWood, or Martin, who has revealed the lore behind the Life series. During the third Life series, Martin started being enticed to create chaos by some unseen entities known as the Shadow that only spoke in rhyme. After losing his final life during the final battle of Third Life, Martin was killed by Good Times with Scar, and he fell into an endless void, and the mysterious entities stated that they were not pleased with the outcome of Third Life. Entities restarted the series with a new twist to satisfy their undisclosed motivations, this time bringing the Boogeyman into the picture for Last Life to add a bit of betrayal to the series. During Last Life, the Shadow made its return.
Because the more chaos and the more like confusion and panic and fear that was instilled in the players, the tastier the souls were.
And during Martin's videos, continuing to entice him to spread chaos on the server as a member of the Shadow Alliance. We also learn that the Shadow is highly connected to the moon of the Last Life world.
Which, when we did this, I had no context, no information whatsoever that the moon was going to do something in Hermitcraft Season 8. It was a total coinkydink.
As this is where Martin believes the entities reside. During an off-screen conversation Martin had with the Shadow between the first 2 episodes of his series...
That was just, the whole moon thing was just me and Ren being angsty and just improvising, you know what I mean? Yeah, moon's big, moon's big.
Martin believed that it had told him that Martin and his friends, Solidarity, Mumbo Jumbo, and Impulse SV, would become one with the Shadow by the end of the series, which was a good thing according to...
Yeah, I guess it kind of said that. It said... you'll make it to the end, or you'll see the end. It was something like that, wasn't it? It was like a very vague statement.
To Martin. This proved to be untrue when, after Martin lost his final life on the server at the hands of Dang That's a Long Name, he awoke in a dark void where the Shadow revealed that he misunderstood their bargain. The Shadow reveals once again that Martin had failed them, as he wasn't able to bring death to the server as much as they would have hoped, as the Shadow began to reject...
You know what I did, though? I did bring the best kill of that season to the server, in my opinion. That minecart, oh boy!
Martin and leave him in the
hands
of the
dope.
light.
Sorry, Tango.
Of the Shadow, Martin asks about the Shadow's opinion on Grian. The Shadow states that Grian was only supposed to watch the series like the rest of them, and not actively be a part of it, revealing to the viewers that Grian from the Life series was actually the Grian who became a Watcher at the end of Evo. Likewise, the Shadow was actually one and the same with the Watchers from the Evo series. Martin later revealed in a stream that the Watchers, displeased with the evolutionists escaping their grasps at the end of the SMP, created the Life series in their anger. Anytime a player lost their final life in the Life series, the Watchers would feed on their souls and negative energy, but their appetite was never truly satisfied, which is why they keep adding new twists to the series each season, to create more negativity to feast upon. Rian refused to stand idly by while the other two Watchers did this, so he gave up his godlike power and joined the other players in the Life universe. Double Life then is just the next attempt for the Watchers to feed on the souls of the players.
The games never end, my dude. They repeat and repeat and repeat, and they eat and they eat and they eat.
All 3 seasons into a multiverse with...
Obviously, this isn't anything that Gree and all the rest of the guys have agreed upon. It's just from my side of things.
Minecraft Evo. Hang on, the multiverse is only getting bigger from here. Now, I'd like to bring up the connections that my personal favorite series, Empires...
Okay, so this is what I'm interested in. So obviously, everything up until this point... I worked with Green, obviously, with the original Watchers concept. I was part of introducing the listeners, and I was the listeners, you know, story writer for that last sort of stretch on the Evo server. And then obviously all of this stuff from the Life series is 100% me. So this is where I'm intrigued to see how they tie this stuff together. It's really intriguing.
SMP series. Firstly, we know that both seasons of the Empire's SMP take place in the same universe, just 1,000 years apart, as confirmed by the fact that Sausage of Sanctuary has flashbacks to his past life as Lord Sausage of Mythland through Season 2. We know for a fact that the Afterlife SMP highly is connected to Empires, because not only is this the server where the Orion Sound character originally hails from, but Sausage has had a few flashbacks to his past lives on the Afterlife server during his time as both an angel and a god. Sausage even recently built a cathedral dedicated to Saint Pearlescent Moon, a goddess originally introduced on the Afterlife server, with a church built in honor of her holy name. We also can connect Joey Graceffa's single-player.
See, now this is the interesting thing: is whether whether this has been a development for a multiverse since Afterlife, or whether this is just purely a more... I would assume it's a more recent conversation of talking about doing a crossover just purely between Empires and Hermitcraft. But it would be cool if they would like trickle in breadcrumbs whilst the you know, the background was coming together.
Book series, this little corner of the multiverse, especially considering...
Wait, what was this again? Sorry.
With a church built in honor of her holy name. We also can connect Joey Graceffa's single-player Skyblock series.
Joey.
This little corner of the multiverse, especially considering characters from Season 1 of Empires, Lizzie the Ocean Queen, Season 2 of Empires, Princess Catherine and Mythical Sausage of Sanctuary, and characters from Afterlife, Shulk and Shadow Girl make an appearance in the series.
So what, Joey would like summon random people from different multiverses to him?
I'd be surprised to learn that we can also connect the rest of the Life series of Empires.
Can you?
Well, for example, when God Joel asked Lizzie the cat to represent him in court against Solidarity for a lawsuit, Lizzie describes that she has vague flashbacks to practicing law in a previous life. This is a clear reference to Lizzie's time as a lawyer on the X-Life server. Another example includes Godfather Jimmy and Scotta Revendell's date from Season 1, which is littered with references to a previous romance the two had in a past life on the Third Life server, where they were known as the Flower...
Oh shit! So you're doing Flower Husbands to link this together, right? Okay. Was that the Pufferish of Peace, by the way?
Husbands. Not only did Scott decorate the dating venue with codfish named after the team colors from the Third Life series, but he also hung a Pufferfish of Peace on the wall, which was an artifact from the Third Life server that Jimmy used to show peace with his allies on the server. Finally, during Season 1...
Right, interesting. So the Flower Husbands and the Pufferish of Peace are references that carried over into that series. I mean, I guess it doesn't explain the transportation between those worlds and stuff, but there's at least memories and acknowledgement there.
And on the Empire...
I mean, obviously, this is all just... We're all just putting stuff in our videos that we enjoy from previous series, but
server,
the references,
Sausage of Mythland, believing he wouldn't live much longer as he was under the influence of Zarnath, wrote out his will, addressing each member on the SMP. When he got to Smallish Beans, Sausage gave Joel his Church of the Blood Sheep, asking him to use it to help bring back Jeremyism, a religion founded by Joel during his time on the X-Life server. We also know from the very same episode of Sausage's Empire series that his hardcore series, One Block, Source Block SMP, Legacy SMP Season 1, and Single Player World all exist within the Empire's multiverse, as Sausage travels to each of these worlds to gather variants of his dog, Bubbles, from each of them. We've got a lot of other connections to go through, so let's make this as quick as we can. We know that Hermitcraft has a really good chance of being part of the multiverse, thanks to Grian's visit to the Empire's Season 1 world.
Wait, hold on. So Grian visited the Season 1 Empire's world. What was that? It looks as though this was a live stream, because if Timmy's got his members and his top donations, so was this just like a little one-off stream? What was the context of that? Let's have a look. If I just put Empires green, although that's probably going to be all done. Oh yeah, here we go. Empires. Episode 28 with Timmy. 9 months ago.
Hello and welcome back to Empires SMP. It's been a little while, hasn't it? And that's because I'm still annoyed about not having my Codfather head back. No, it made me lose my Codfather head. So no, I'm going over to him and I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to teach him a lesson that he never forgets. Just a little bonus clip type of thing. I was live streaming Empires the other day and we had a little guest on the series. A little guest who wanted a tour and to cause some mayhem. Enjoy.
Yeah, I was just randomly here against Slime Boss.
My boy! Welcome!
Right, okay, interesting.
Welcome, son! Oh, I can't hear you!
So there's just like a whole bit there. Right, okay.
To the Empires Season 1 world.
We'll check that out in a second.
Where he briefly mentions that by him visiting Empires, he is expanding the SMP multiverse. Also, fans have speculated.
Ooh, I'd be intrigued to know what the exact quote of that was.
That False Symmetry's character, who originally hails from a different world than the Empire server, might actually be from the world of Hermitcraft. So,
wait, what? What was that?
Hails from a different world than the. Also, fans have speculated that False Symmetry's character, who originally hails from a different world than the Empire server.
So what does that mean? Originally hails from a different world than the Empire series. Is that something that False has said, like, in canon? False started with her hermit skin. Oh, what? She started Empires in her thing. Yeah, that's her lore. But what do you mean, though? What does she mean by that? Is it basically False has just said, like, during Empires, has said, like, oh, I'm not actually from here. She woke up on Empires. Waking up in a weird world. Right, okay. So I guess is it implied then that False is it originally stems from the Hermitcraft world then?
Might actually be from the world of Hermitcraft. So only time will tell as we explore her.
False's canon is amnesiac. How do you say that word? I don't know. Isekai protagonist. Maybe not quite, but you were close.
Backstory more this season.
If False meets False, so that's the thing, right? There's big potential here for the two Falses to me. That might be way too complex of an edit and require a lot of acting, but it would be very cool to commit to the bit. Isn't Gem also in Empires as well as Hermit?
All 9 seasons of Hermitcraft are all canonical.
She has memories of the Hermitcraft world. Oh, surely one of them's got to do a like meeting sort of thing.
As we explore her backstory more this season. All 9 seasons of Hermitcraft are all canonical to each other, which should come as no surprise. In season 6 of Hermitcraft, in his testing facility known as Area 77, Doc MC 77 enters a strange portal that leads him to the Mindcrack SMP, bringing the old SMP series into our little.
Wait, hold on, Mindcrack. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on, Mindcrack. Jeez. That's an old one. That's a blast from the past. Does Mindcrack SMP still go? I remember I did the charity live stream with Mindcrack over in... God, where was it? Was it San Fran? I think it might have been San Fran or San Diego. That had... God, that had so many people in it. It had Chad in it. It had Sevidus. It had so many people. Oh, man.
Multiverse. Further, Mumbo Jumbo entered a portal that led him to the Psycraft server back during season 6 of Hermitcraft, where he took a tour of the Redstone
Psycraft. I haven't heard of Psycraft before.
Masterpieces the server members had created. And get ready, because this connection is huge. During the Third Life series, Rendog took on the title of the Red King. And according to Ren's own law, his king's crown is actually the same crown he earned by winning MCC9 with his fellow Blue Bats.
Of course it's from MCC. Of course it is. Right, good. Okay, we've got MCC put into this multiverse as well. I love it. I love it.
Symmetry, Fruit Berries, and H-Bomb. As we have recently seen on the Dream SMP, CPK has recently discovered that he has the ability to travel the multiverse, and he visited the Minecraft Championship universe, making it canon to the multiverse of the Dream SMP.
Wait. There's layers to this. What? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Dream SMP, MCC, Multiverse. If I just search this, is this a thing? CPK found his superpower traveling through the dimensions. Right, hold on a minute. Because I tell you what, there's only a few seconds left on this video. Let's wrap this up.
So, to summarize, here are all the series that we have a pretty good feeling exist within the same multiverse. The Evolution SMP, Third Life, Last Life, Double Life, Afterlife, Empire's SMP Season 1 and 2, Joey Graceffa's One Black...
It's hilarious because all of the Life series, because of the way that I've structured my lore, just gets thrown into this pile now forever. Forever and ever and ever. You can always assume that the Life series are just these death games from the Watchers. I remember making that Evo logo, right, Harry? This is nuts.
Survival World, Hermitcraft Seasons 1 through 9, the Minecraft Championship Series.
I really did like this version of the Evo logo, but I always found that the one that looked more like, that was more like kind of like quite solid white, always looked a little bit more poppy on the thumbnail.
Sidecraft, Minecraft SMP, multiple Mythical Sausage Minecraft series, Minecraft Championships, and the Dream SMP. But this is only the beginning.
Ah, you've got the formula down. This is only the beginning. Video immediately ends.